Hello, young captains. I hope everyone is staying healthy and continuing to learn during this time. My name is Miss Lythgoe, and today we're going to learn how to use a four-square organizer to solve a word problem. You'll need a piece of paper and a pencil. The first thing we need to do is draw our foursquare and label it with 4 titles. These are the steps we're going to do to solve our word problem. So you'll need understand, plan, solve, and look back, and it should look like this. In the understand square, we're going to be writing the information we need to solve our word problem. We're going to think, what is it about? What do I know? And what is unknown? That's the question that the problem is asking us to solve. In the plan square, we're going to set up our problem based on the operation we need to do. In the solve square, we'll do our math computation. And finally, in the look back square, we're going to verify that our answer is correct and reasonable. We're going to check our work there. So here's the word problem we're going to solve using our foursquare. Trent had $20 to spend while traveling with his family. I have a chart that's titled gift shop items, the item, and the price for each of those things. And my question says, he wants to purchase a t-shirt, a keychain, and 5 postcards. How much change will he receive from his purchase? So in my understand square of my organizer, I'm going to start writing down the information I know from the problem. I know that Trent has $20 to spend. I know he wants to buy a t-shirt, which costs $9.95. He wants to buy a keychain, which costs $2.75. And he wants to buy 5 postcards, which cost 25 cents each. And what's unknown, the question my problem is asking me, is how much change he will receive, or how much change Trent will get. So I'm putting that in my understand square also. Should end up looking something like this. Now if we move to our plan square, we're going to set up the operations we need to do. This is a multi-step problem, meaning we're going to need to do more than one operation. So I'm going to go back to those postcards. I know that Trent wants to buy 5 of those, and I know they cost 25 cents each. So in order to figure out how much his postcards cost, I'm going to need to do 25 cents times 5. So that's going to be one step in my plan square. And then step 2, I need to know how much he's spending on all of these souvenirs he's buying. Remember, we said the t-shirt cost $9.95 plus the keychain, which was $2.75, plus those postcards, which are 5 times 25 cents each. So that will be step 2 for my problem, which will give me a total for how much he spent. And then remember that question that we're going to go back to said, how much change will he receive from his purchase? He started with $20, so we're going to need to find the total he spent and subtract that from his $20. So here's my plan square. I first need to multiply to figure out the postcards. Next, I'm going to add up to figure out how much Trent spent total on his items. And then my third step will be to subtract. I want to take the $20 he started with minus the total he spent, and that will give me his change that he receives. Now that we have our plan, we're going to move on to the solve square, which is where we actually get to do the math. So I first am going to figure out how much money these postcards cost. So my 5 times 25 cents, I know that there are 4 quarters and $1 plus one more. That's going to give me $1.25 for his postcards. Here's the solve to the first step. Next, now I can find the total he spent. So I'm going to do the $9.95 plus $2.75 plus that $1.25 from my postcards. Remember, when you're adding decimals, which money is, to make sure your decimal point is lined up. That gives me a total of $13.95 for step 2. Remember, that represents how much money Trent spent on his souvenirs. Now, step 3 was to figure out that change. Now I'm going to take his $20 and I'm going to subtract $13.95 to figure out how much change Trent will receive. So Trent's going to end up with $6.05 back from the cashier when he pays for his items. Now that final square is look back. It's always really important to check our work. And here in my solve, I did subtraction. So I'm going to see if I can do the opposite operation, which would be addition, and take how much Trent spent plus his change that he's receiving, and I should get that $20 that he started with. So let me see if my answer is reasonable. So I'm going to do the $13.95 plus the $6.05 change. And I end up with the $20 that Trent started with. So this question here, how much change will Trent get? My answer is going to be $6.05. So this 4-square organizer is a great way to make sure you have all the information you need for a word problem, to keep your steps organized, and to make sure you're successful when you compute. Now I want to give you a chance to try out this 4-square organizer to solve a word problem on your own. So here's the problem. Mario baked 22 apple pies. He shared them equally among 6 friends. How much apple pie did each friend get? So I'll read it one more time and see if you can fill out your understand square. Think, what do I know from the problem and what's unknown? What is this problem asking me to solve? So Mario baked 22 apple pies. He shared them equally among 6 friends. How much apple pie did each friend get? So take a minute and see if you can fill out your understand square. Okay, so my understand square looks something like this. He had 22 apple pies, he has 6 friends, and he's wondering how much each will get when he shares them. So when I hear equal shares, I start thinking division. I have my total number of pies, which was 22, and I think he's going to want to divide those equally among his 6 friends. So here's my plan. 22 divided by 6. Now I'm going to give you a minute to see if you can fill out your solve square to do that computation. Okay, so when I do 22 divided by 6, I use the partial quotients method, I get 3 pies. 6 times 3 is 18. That leaves me with 4 pies left. I don't want to give those 4 pies away because he won't be sharing them equally because he has 6 friends. So now we're going to think for our look back. What's the opposite operation we just did? And how can we check to see if our answer is correct and reasonable? So give it a second and see if you can figure out how you would check your work for this problem. So we did division, 22 divided by 6. The opposite operation would be multiplication. So in my look back square, I've done his 6 friends times the 3 pies they'll each get, which leaves me with 18 pies plus the 4 he had remaining gives me the 22 pies he started with from my understand square. So I hope you enjoyed this strategy for how to use a graphic organizer to solve word problems, and I hope everyone stays happy and healthy.